if the silence of the universe isn't empty, but hiding something terrifying? Join us today on the Triple T Podcast as we unravel the chilling implications of the dark forest theory, where every signal sent into the cosmos might invite unimaginable danger. Is humanity's curiosity our ultimate downfall? That was professional, right?
Spooky as hell, bro.
Spooky as hell.
We're the spook boys, dude. We're a couple of spook boys.
They call that a hook in the business, because we wanted to hook you for 30 seconds, and I think we lost you just then. But hey, maybe we started off strong. But either way, the voice you're hearing, it's me. It's Matt. It's Beard Laws, and joining me as always is the Yo-Yo King, Burley.
Yo.
And this topic was something that Burley has been super excited about. He sent it over in the old group chat and said, "I think we should do this sometime." And I said, "Now is the time." And he's the Triple T expert on this one, and I'm excited about it. I know a little bit, and you deep dived into this, right?
I've been going balls deep, for sure. Pedal to the proverbial metal. Did you see the show? I know you didn't, but for the audience, did you see the show Three Body Problem?
Audience,
or three body problem? Is that what it's called? Three body? I think it's called Three Body Problem.
I've heard of the Three Blind Mice.
No, Three Body Problem. It was pretty great.
Yeah, Three Body Problem. It was a TV show, one season on the Netflix. See, I refuse to watch anything that's less than 3 seasons because I just get into it, and then it's like recently the wife got me into Mindhunter, so we just kind of put it on when we were around. I was like, this pretty awesome. Ends after like 2 seasons. I'm like, I didn't check. Sorry.
Well, I hope that this doesn't ruin the show for you, but this is a lot of what that show's about, is the dark forest theory, which is what we're going to be talking about today.
Oh, are they going to make a season 2?
Oh yeah, for sure. They have to.
Because that just came out in March of 2024, right?
Dude, I went in knowing nothing about it. They didn't promote it for nothing. I watched it and went, this is intense. It's intense and something I've never thought about before. So
I'm excited.
Let's hop right in. Okay.
Let's do it. Let's hop.
This is the reoccurring theme on the show. Do you believe we are alone, dude? Are we alone?
Not a chance there. Which one are you, Scully or Mulder?
I think I'm Scully.
Okay, I'll go Mulder. Do you believe Scully?
Scully's the one that I think, we read their definitions, didn't we?
We did too.
I think Scully was like fighting with her faith and all this stuff, and then Mulder's like, man, do you remember?
Scully was definitely, I don't remember.
We're gonna ask
Scully.
GPT.
You're Scully, because Scully, you're Scully. I'm Mulder.
I want to know why though.
Hold on. It was battling with the religious questioning and whatever else, and Mulder was more of a prove it, I believe. Get out there and prove.
Yeah, but he was also battling with something. Okay, so Fox Mulder is the believer. He's driven by unwavering belief in the paranormal. Yeah. Dana Scully, she's the skeptic. Okay. So, man, wait, is this correct? I want to believe. Are you the skeptic or am I the skeptic?
I was the paranormal dude.
Okay, you're Mulder.
And I think Scully was into religion and stuff, and that was more you than me, because I've only been to a church a couple times.
Also, I'm a caregiver, dude.
That's true.
I'm a caregiver.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You give all of the cares.
I do, all the cares. So, Mulder, do you believe that we are not the only people out, or only living things out there?
We are definitely not the only living things out there. There's more out there. There has to be.
Mathematically, you're correct. So, there's a thing called the Drake equation. It's a mathematical framework for estimating the number of active communicative extraterrestrial civilizations just in the Milky Way, dude. It's formulated by an astronomer named Frank Drake in 1961. It basically lays out, can you pull that graphic up? Is that possible?
Yeah.
The picture that's in the notes? Because it's pretty cool how this is all nerd stuff, but it's pretty neat to look at. And this graphic I found lays out what all these things are. How good were you at math?
I passed a New York State Regents class.
If those little numbers were...
So you can tell me if it's good or not.
If these definitions weren't on there, could you solve whatever that is?
No. Math to me isn't letters. Math to me is numbers.
Good point. This is why, you know what? leaving that on the table. You're correct. Because I had a whole
N
thing.
equals 3 times
Yeah.
FP 551. And isn't it crazy though? There are people in this world that could look at that and be like, yeah, this is it. Like, this is why that's not my world.
There's people that could solve this without any of those numbers there.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
And you know what? Chances are they can solve a Rubik's Cube as well.
Man, I've known some dumb people that can solve a Rubik's Cube. It's all pattern memorized. It's just people can do it without even looking. There's a way to do it. I tried to do it. Okay. So on this equation, n equals 3. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the number of detectable intelligent civilizations is what we're trying to find.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So rate of star formation, I don't know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Fractions of those stars that have planets, that's part of it. Number of potentially habitable planets. So the problem with this equation, and this was in 1961, it's still a problem today. We haven't fully mapped the Milky Way. So these are all estimates. And it's changing. Every time we find a new thing, this changes. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So planets where life evolved, planets where life develops intelligence, planets where life, so it's all factored in. It basically comes into there should be about 20 habitable and currently there civilizations out there within reach of us on the edge of our galaxy. That's the current equation, 20.
Man.
Of all the billions of things floating out there.
And to your point with the Milky Way, I mean, it would take, traveling at the speed of light, it would take approximately 26,000 years to reach the center of the Milky Way. So, I mean, not only getting there is pretty much impossible, but what we see and however we see it is such a, I guess, delayed or, different aspect just because
it
of
is
this
delayed.
So what we're seeing that potentially changed from, say, hypothetically yesterday might have changed thousands of years ago. It's crazy to think about.
This is not even the one on the notes at all. This was a little extracurricular activity I did yesterday, and it kind of ties into what you just said. You've seen in all like the Star Wars movies and the Star Treks and stuff like that of like going warp speed, right? And then they can go, light speed and go, light years. I'm talking about real fast, blah, 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 right? It's technically not impossible mathematically. But what happens is, as you're traveling at that speed, it causes ripples. Mass, gravity, all this stuff changes, and these ripples they can be seen. And up until about 2020, that was just a theory. We found something.
Ooh, we didn't, but they did.
Something out there is traveling at that speed, and we have those ripples that we can see. This is part of what bringing computers online did, is like they're finding stuff way easier. Also, AI is now getting ahead of myself. Ooh. But these ripple things, we've seen at least 3 now. Something is traveling that fast that we don't see and causing these ripples.
And isn't it crazy that nobody really talks about it? They'd rather talk about a couple of little drones in the air, or maybe
The problem is these people are talking. News doesn't care. They'd rather tell you about the Kardashians and Meghan Markle getting a new show on Netflix, which is trash. It's junk, dude.
Trash.
It's junk. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
So here's a fun fact of how long we've been trying to reach out. Even before this dude in 1961 came up with this Drake equation.
I have to imagine a while.
We've been launching radio signals out into space for 100 years. We've been at this for 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even think about this. And this was brought up in one of the things I was reading. By now, the radio signals we sent out, even probably 20 years ago, have decayed, and they wouldn't, they wouldn't be out there. So
it's kind of like a message in a bottle. You're going to throw a glass bottle with a note in an ocean. The chances of it actually getting to someone and not potentially breaking, smashing, sinking, deteriorating It's kind of the same.
Also,
You
that's
know what I
kind of
mean?
not how tides work. It's going to hang out in that general area forever, right? It's not going to make it to the West Indies.
You know, and like you said with the radio things, like they're gonna break up. I mean, it's
But I never even thought about that. I never thought about in my head, in my dumb brain, old Scully over here with my motherly attitudes. I thought that you just send out a packet of sound and I don't know why I didn't think it would deteriorate. But in my head, of course, there's nothing but space in space, and it's just going to spread out. That makes sense. But I mean, how far does it go? I wonder. But that's neither here or there. Okay, so now
should we tell them what the dark forest theory is?
Are we building to it? We're building to it. Do you see my little note on there? We have to premise the dark forest theory with this. This is going to take up the whole episode. This is good. This is good.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we'll do a part 2.
Well, no, I mean, we could do this all in one. Nobody wants to hear me twice talk about this.
Maybe.
So everybody's wondering, like, okay, so we have 20, after looking at the Drake equation, we have 20 theoretical planets that should have life. They should. Mathematically, they should have life. Well, why haven't we heard from them? Why haven't we seen anything? So that's where what's his name? Enrico Fermi famously asked the question, where is everybody? Right? So he came up with, here's the key elements of what he came up with, right? So we have the vastness of the universe, which is the observable universe contains billions of galaxies, each with billions of stars, and potentially even more planets. Most of the planets that fall within the habitable zone. So we've already established that we have roughly 20 planets.
Pretty big, and there is places that could support life. Should.
But why haven't we heard from them?
Good question.
So one of the leading answers to this is what we call the dark forest theory.
Ooh.
Where in the dark forest theory, we essentially, I'm gonna make it to where I'm not reading these, dude. I know this. If you see any notes on there that I'm skipping over, let me know.
Gotcha.
But it's essentially treating the entire everything, galaxies, universes, solar system, blah, 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 as a haunted forest, right? I'm a predator. You're a predator.
Yeah.
We're in the forest hunting. And then if two predators come across each other, we can't communicate, right? We don't know each other's language. You're from a different country than me, right?
Yeah. Canada.
How do I know your intentions? Do I want to wait around and have the lower hand and you strike first? So the idea is either attack first or run away, right? Or stay quiet and not go into this haunted forest at all. So the idea is maybe nobody's reaching out because they don't want to be attacked, or we shouldn't be reaching out because we could be destroyed easily. Because think about this, but we've already created enough bombs in this planet, that could destroy this whole planet easily, right?
Easily.
What's to say that somebody or some civilization who's figured out, travel across universes couldn't just have enough on one ship to destroy this entire planet? I mean,
look at the Death Star.
Exactly. But maybe even smaller than that. I mean, that was 1970s plans. I'm talking about one of these drones might be enough to blow, if it really is an alien thing. So the idea, even Stephen Hawking's talked about, he's like, we're probably too late. We should not be talking to anybody. Why are we inviting them here?
Because not only are the chances that there is other life, the chances that we are the most sophisticated life form out there is pretty small as well. Like you're saying, if we've seen the ripple effects, we've seen technology that's way better than ours. We could probably easily just be, and that's been a theory that's out there. We're being watched. We're alien food. When another planet or another something has run out, they're just keeping us alive. They're just doing whatever. Hey, try not to just blow yourself up. Oh, these nuclear power plants could be at harm. Let's see some UFO. You know what I mean? I think they could be keeping us alive. So when they need to eat us, they'll come down and eat us. Maybe they are. There's a lot of people in the earth. Maybe they already are snacking on us.
Anunnaki, Tej.
There it is.
But yeah, dude, we're constantly. Why are we reaching out? Do you think it's smart that we are trying to contact other beings from other planets? Do you think it's a smart idea? I'm asking you, Mulder.
I think it's a dumb idea for the same reason that we probably shouldn't even be reaching out to North Korea and being like, why did you just ban hot dogs?
What? Did they just
Yeah.
ban hot dogs?
Well, they banned hot dogs. And if you get caught selling or serving hot dogs or sausage products in North Korea, you will be sent to labor camps, as well as if you get divorced.
Man, that sounds like propaganda so hard, bro. That sounds like some wacky propaganda that we came up with.
So, I mean, think about it. There's other countries that potentially, if we communicate the wrong thing, we start a war. So why would we want to communicate with some other beings or, living things that would easily probably result in some kind of war that we wouldn't be able to? I mean, we don't have the capability to get out there into space and fight. We can barely fight on our own planet.
Well,
you telling me these people that are traveling all over?
We have a space force.
I know,
and we have no idea what the technology they have. Why create a space force if they can't get up there quick, fast, and in a hurry? That's my thought on that.
Okay, and I guess that's me saying it without knowing, because I don't know what the Space Force has or does, and we'll probably never know.
We can do an episode on this, because I don't know either, and I'm interested now.
I better write that down.
Yeah, Space Force. I thought the Space Force thing was just a rumor, and then I saw somebody online, like they were doing a video just talking, but they were in their army fatigues, and it had nothing to do with what they were wearing, but it said Space Force on their thing. I was like, ooh, it is real. All right. Okay, all right. So you think here's my thoughts too is, let's see, here's a good question. I guess we should ask this. And this is where TikTok gets mad at me for not knowing these questions, but
okay, TikTok. You're probably going away in a couple of days anyways, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Also, it makes them too much money, so probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, there is a lot of money.
How many countries are
12
in the United Nations?
Oh, that is a good question. I mean, what kind of person knows that off the top of the head unless they're super into going to trivia night or something like that? Is that something? I was never taught that, I don't think, in my schooling. But I was also not taught a lot of history and stuff that I probably should have properly.
Okay, there's 100. Yeah, if Jesus wasn't involved, I didn't hear about it. There are currently 193 member states in the UN.
Oh, there we go. Hey, trivia question. 193, remember that.
The latest, here's the next piece of trivia. The latest member to join, 2011, guess.
Jordan.
Oh, you're close, though. That's a good guess, bro.
Thank you.
South Sudan.
Oh.
Dude, you're in the vicinity.
I'm in the zone.
Yeah. Okay, so we have to rely on the United Nations if we ever do get truly invaded, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I'm 99.9999% sure that 193 is not all the countries in the world. So we have to really hope that some, I mean, even these uncontacted tribes, if they get contacted by aliens before they get contacted by like a civilized person, they're throwing a spear at it and then getting our Earth destroyed.
Oh, but listen to this. There is 195 countries in the world. 193 member states of the United States. 2 non-member observers are...
North Korea?
Nope.
Ooh, hold on. Is it Antarctica? Something dumb?
No. This would be a tough guess, I think.
Okay.
The Holy See, which you should have got that from your schooling. It says holy in it. And
I mean, is it like there's holes in it? Or...
I think so. And the state of Palestine.
Well,
so I think
we're not touching that.
No. So I think
if it was my show.
Yeah.
But there you go.
There we go.
God forbid they land in the state of Palestine first and see what's going on. They would think that our entire planet was a war zone and decide, let's take her out.
I mean, with Palestine and then the Vatican City is really the Holy See as well. Maybe there's a reason that they're not involved, and maybe there's a reason that these other beings go there first.
Ooh, Vatican City. Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
They would see the entire history of our species if they went to the Vatican. Just went into the basement.
And not part of the United Nations.
The Vatican's not?
I think it's Vatican / Holy See and then the state of
Palestine.
Palestine.
That makes sense. Yeah, Vatican City, that is the smallest country in the world, but it's technically just Rome. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. So another part of this, actually, I need to double back a second because I just remembered a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is Have you heard of the idea that, I forget the term for it, but we've lived numerous civilizations and we've destroyed ourselves and come back and destroyed ourselves and come back?
I've heard this a lot. Yeah, like we're living in the ancient ruins of a more superior civilization. That's why they keep finding things buried and hidden and dug. There's a podcast out there, My Lunch Break.
Mm-hmm.
MLB, he does a lot of digging into stuff like that too, which is, if anybody else wants another one, don't leave ours right now, but go check his out
Yeah,
after.
check it out later. MLB.
Not Major League Baseball, but
yeah, don't go to that website.
That's a tough thing that he's always like, go use code MLB. And I'm like, son of a bitch, man. I'm thinking
rough.
baseball, man. That's a tough one.
But that's another theory too of why we haven't heard from anybody. Maybe naturally civilizations just reset. We get to a certain point, we destroy ourselves and start over. I mean,
there was
every
one theory
year
that I heard that, sorry to cut you off, was that they always said it was like a big boom and it was all this, but it was actually like a self-induced attack from like some kind of copper technology that another one had. And if you break it down scientifically, yes, it could look like a meteor, or it could look like this that took out the dinosaurs and everything. But there's more scientific data that's coming out that it could actually have been a superior technology using copper, which is throughout Earth quite a bit.
Yeah.
This other thing used, and it's a whole nother thing. But if you ever look into that, that was something that I recently heard and was reading. I was like, holy shit. It could, like, I mean, from the destruction to the site to how it, like, it was like, okay, well, there's another theory they're never going to teach you in school.
Yeah, I mean, our school system's broken, dude. We should be scaring our children. That's what we should be doing.
That's
maybe
why
they'll
created
walk
Halloween.
the righteous. They should walk the righteous path with fear, dude.
Yeah, and teach them less math with F's and N's and letters, more numbers.
You would think that the people that invented algebra, i.e., Arabs, would be like in a way better spot, like than the desert. The desert sucks, dude.
Yeah, if they should calculate that they're living in a bad spot.
Yeah. All right, I digress. But every year since we've been kids, dude, they talk about like, World War III, the end of the world, yada yada yada.
I'm okay with that just being talk.
I am too, but but it seems like every year we're getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
All this stuff going on with China right now, Russia, US, where we currently reside, Russia and China is all it would take to destroy this entire planet.
Yeah.
That's it.
Good. It wouldn't be good. I mean, think of the amount of destruction in Dub 2, and when the technology was not nearly as good as it was. A Dub 3 would be catastrophic.
VW2, bro, ended in 1945.
Yeah.
I believe the airplane was invented like 20 years before that.
So they say.
How crazy is that? We dropped atom bombs off of an airplane that was invented just 20 years before. Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, Wright brothers, trivia time. Boom.
Yeah, but if you go back to an episode we did a couple back about the drone technology, it's been around a lot longer than people think.
Yeah. You got like the dropping the things from the balloons and.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if we think that, man, dude, our new president coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the dog. Something tells me even if we had one of those hot air balloons and we knew it was just a hot air balloon, he's gonna blast it out of the sky. So if we saw a real UFO, I feel like he would make the call to blast it, and then boom, we're done.
You know what does kind of suck though? We're talking about TikTok, social media. When I'm scrolling through and AI is getting so goddamn good, I'm seeing videos of like real UFOs. And it sucks because now I'm having a hard time deciding what is real and what is fake. And I'm getting super bummed out. Like, I really want to see one, and they've released stuff, and you're seeing stuff, you know, but it's kind of like Bigfoot sightings, you know, you're seeing them on granular, grainy trail cams and photos and all that stuff. But then you're seeing these UFOs, and the only technology is apparently from an airplane from forever ago, it seems like. I want to see something good, not this AI. So stop producing AI videos for views. Just kidding. Keep doing it. It's pretty cool.
How come no astronauts are talking about seeing things?
I don't know, because they're always stuck in space with Christmas hats, and that's the talk of the news.
What?
You didn't see that?
No.
So there was a couple of astronauts that are stuck in space. It was an 8-day mission, and they obviously got stuck, and it went viral because they were wearing Christmas hats because they ended up being stuck. Like, why would they go up there for 8 days and have all of like this Christmas attire. And it was just some thing that got overblown, I'm sure. But it's like, I'm sure they have to go up, and this is my opinion, and I don't really know because I've never been an astronaut or known one. But I have to imagine if you go up there, there's always a chance that you're going to get stuck. Something bad's going to happen. So maybe they just said, hey, there's a chance we're going to get stuck up here for Christmas. Let's bring some Christmas hats just in case.
Sure enough.
You know, but it was a
they've
thing.
been dropping off supplies, surely.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but that was something.
Can you imagine like being the guy that like we're making a supply run? It's emergency. They're running out of supplies because they can't get home. Johnson, go get the medical supplies. Simmons, go get the food and paste for water and food. Yes, sir. You, Jordan, go get the birthday hats. That's your job.
Yep. No, you know that was a female touch. Like
I really struggled to come up with fake names.
I know. I saw that. I liked Simmons, and then I like how you're just were like, he said the country Jordan. Jordan's in my brain. I'm like, oh, Michael Jordan. Here we go, Jordan.
Yeah, that's all I had, dude. That's bad.
That's okay. Good. It's all right. It's okay. You're going through withdrawal.
What, dude? Yes, I am. I am going through withdrawals right now. Shout out New Year, New Me.
Super sober, baby.
Not alcohol withdrawals. Jeez.
No, super sober. Like just your body. Which are a drug, they say. Sugar.
Anyways. Dude. Sugar's a real MFer, as they say. Also, think about this. What if there was a louder? I mean, we are loud as far as the universe goes of us sending crap out there. We are loud. We are just like, please talk to me. And this is what happens in that Three Body Problem show in China. They're sending out these radio things, and then they finally get a response. And then only one person sees the response because it's in like a text thing in like a Chinese satellite place, and they just start talking back and forth. It's pretty cool. Anyways, no spoilers. But
maybe have in any of your research, I'm not going to spoil anything. Like, is there anything in your notes that we have had communication like from somewhere else that has came back?
We've heard things. This is where I was going to get whenever we get to the AI part, and I mentioned it earlier. AI has made it to where we're catching things the normal human could not catch before. So now we're catching. I think there's only 3 or 4 instances of it, but they're really zeroing in. Like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
And also in my head, I did not look into this. Maybe they're using something different, but it seems like radio waves are probably not the best thing to send out there, right?
I wouldn't think so.
Maybe 100 years ago is all we had.
Yeah, but I don't. You would. I mean, again, without looking it up, I mean, radio signals, space exploration. I mean, that's really the moves, right?
Here's the deal. I just thought of this just now. I just broke my own brain. This might be bullshit. We don't know whatever language these aliens would send back, right?
I wouldn't think so.
And AI is human-made, so it only knows what we give it. How does it know what these messages are saying if it's something that no human has ever heard?
Interesting, yeah. But is AI smart enough to be able to come up with a way to translate things? I don't know.
I don't even know if that's Googleable, dude. Can you Google? I mean, yeah. You want to do something funny, by the way? I did this on ChatGPT. He said, "Who did 9/11?" It told me, and then I said, it just responded with, "Be honest." It just didn't say anything.
That's pretty. So this, according to Zay Googles and the Search Labs AI overview, while current AI technology cannot definitively transcribe extraterrestrial communication, it's theorized that advanced AI could potentially help decipher alien languages by analyzing patterns and structures in their communication, similar to how researchers are studying animal communication with AI.
See, this is what's crazy to me, that we just refer to aliens as animals, where they're the advanced ones that are obviously showing up, dude. We are the animals to them.
We are the animals. Have you ever heard of the whole lizard people like theory and stuff like that as well?
Did you send me something about
that's in part of one of the videos on, I think it's the Y Files, which obviously if you haven't heard about them, but yeah, that's pretty much interesting how they're, not to get into it, but kind of relates to this, is how there is an advanced civilization that was before us, still living with us, and they were more or less able to have DNA markers within us. So we don't see these aliens as anything except us. Like, we're only programmed to see us as us. But there's these lizard people that are living among us that are clearly different, but we don't see them as different. And more or less, they've been living amongst us the whole time. And that it's crazy. There's a lot of other things that they apparently can do, and all that.
We'll pull it up when the lizard time comes, but there is video of George Bush Sr. with his eyes looking a lot like a reptilian, dude.
And what they're saying is that over time, as we continually get older and older, and our DNA naturally evolves and stuff like that, that there's just some people that it's kind of, the effects are starting to wear off, and we're able to see things. Some people are able to see through this and that, and it's a crazy theory, but it's kind of like the whole dark forest thing. Like, it really makes you think, and I think thinking is good.
How bummed out would you be if we found out that we are the pets of this forest? Like, they are just observing us. We are just a zoo. We are a zoo for aliens. How bummed out would you be that we think we're like this top of the food chain baller, but we're just a bunch of specks on a rock floating through space,
I've always thought we're just part of a simulation. And maybe we do an episode on that, just the theories why and this and that.
It's never ending how many episodes we're going to be able to do. This rules.
And I really do. I've always thought that, like, somebody's just playing, like, somebody out there somewhere is just playing my character, not as good as a lot of others, but a lot better than a lot of others as well. Like, I'm not one of those people that they've downloaded the game, played it for 35 minutes, and they just put me aside, and I'm going through automation mode. That's shitty. Like, somebody has put some time into my character.
Yeah, the idea of that really sucks. It's a real bummer, dude. Like, I would prefer to be in the zoo, the alien zoo, than I would be what you just described. That sucks, dude. Yeah, the idea, because what you described is, it's there's no free will.
If I had a therapist, I probably would have talked to them about that at some point.
Yeah, but we all know that therapy's not real unless BetterHelp wants to sponsor us. Are they a sponsor? Get them on the phone. Send them this clip. It works. So I don't know, man.
I was gonna say, where do we want to go next?
I want to dive into the idea that we're just being watched, and maybe that's why. I mean, maybe we do know more, or the governments of the world. I mean, also, why did they only come to the U.S.? Why aren't we hearing about this anywhere? I've never hear about alien abductions in, South Sudan.
Yeah, but how would you hear of it? Your algorithms, your language barrier, and stuff like that, isn't it? Like, how many do you often on social media get stuff from other countries, other country news, other country stuff? I've never really.
No,
like, maybe it's a thing, but I've never seen,
even on like on TV shows back when I watched TV, dude, like when Ancient Aliens or something dumb like that. It always seems to be like someone that speaks perfect English is telling you about them being abducted, and then they'll tell you about something that might have happened a long time ago in Egypt, but there's no like current day stuff. I
think I've seen some stuff where in an alien abduction kind of series where, there was like this place in America, this place, but it also happened here in London, and it also happened here in, like, I think there's other reports of it, but you're not seeing those people, which I agree with you. Maybe they should, and then just have, we have the technology just to, while they're talking, just to translate it and then put the little captions on so we know what they're saying. Like,
yeah, it would be funny to see a British person get abducted. Oi, bro! Oi, bro! Get back! Get away from my fanny!
Well, they do. It's the phone booth, isn't that over there in British? Doctor Who.
I've never seen that show.
Yeah, me neither. But isn't it a phone booth?
It seems like more nerd. I think so, but that's also Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted did it better.
They did way better.
I think Doctor Who is one of those, like, it's more nerdier than Star Trek, dude.
Probably.
I think people are crazy into that show, like real like uber dorks.
Yeah. But maybe it is our technology is pretty good. Obviously, China and some other countries are really good, but maybe because we've advanced better than some other countries, that maybe, the aliens and stuff are more focused on us because of our evolution. You know what I mean?
Is there a possibility that the aliens are less focused on exploration than we are?
It's possible.
Maybe that's why we don't hear from them.
Yeah. Maybe they're like, life's pretty good here. We've already seen a lot of other places, and you know what? We're kind of stuck here because I mean, look at that. Look how long it takes to get other places, and what we've seen. I mean, just in our what is the proper word, solar system with Earth, Mars, Jupiter.
Mhm.
None of those are livable, and they take a long ass time to get there. I mean, unless even if Elon Musk comes up with a plan and finds a planet that's 100,000 years away, who the hell's going to be able to put a plan together for 100,000 years to get up there? I mean, none of us. You would have to have the ability to travel 100,000 years and keep civilization alive, continually make, people and essentially generations and generations and generations just living on a capsule to get to said planet. Like, that's a lot. And then the whole thing is like, okay, once we get there, what do? We don't have internet. We don't have, essentially we have to go there and start all over after traveling. Like, that's a wild thought to think about.
Okay.
How's that not a movie?
It's trespassing, dude. We're trespassing everywhere we go. Man, okay. Okay, hold on, brother.
Hold on.
If a human lands on Mars, expect to die, right? If you're really looking for life, if a human showed up, or let's just say, if an alien showed up in your living room when you walked out of the studio after the show, you blasting? Or are you going to sit there and try to talk and become friends and like learn about them?
Yeah, you'd have to imagine that option one should be the move. But then you're like, okay, if I was to do this, this is how my brain works. Okay, say I'm going to go with option one and I'm going to blast this alien. Who's to say that I don't know their technology. Maybe they can read my mind, and before I go to blast, they're able to do some mind voodoo and turn it on me, or I don't know.
I think your rational brain, right? We got to remember, this is a surprise. We don't know aliens are coming. So our rational brain it's not an alien. It's a monster in my house. My family lives here. Your first instinct is going to be protect my family.
Yeah, and then if it takes you out, then at least you went down fighting, and then you're like, God damn it.
You're not thinking about all those other things. Like,
true.
It's fight or flight.
Yep.
So like, man, it would suck. It really would. Like, I think people would be mad at you if you're the first person to kill an alien.
just like if you're the first person to ever see a Bigfoot and kill it too. It's gonna be like, what did you do, you son of a bitch? Just pull out a 4K phone and take a video. But you know what? A lot of people would hate you, but a lot of people would thank you because one, it happened. Here's proof. You have it. But so throw this out there. What's going to happen if you kill an alien? Is anybody going to actually find out, or is the government going to know or find out?
You disappear.
Cover it? Yeah, I disappear. The alien body disappears. Nobody hears about this. And how many times it could have happened already, and we just don't know about it.
So let's put this out here now.
Let's put it out here.
If Triple T disappears, it's because we killed an alien.
But there has to be a way at this. I mean, granted, our government is our government. Technology is what it is. You would think there would have to be ways that you could get this footage, have this alien, have this body, get it out there to the world for people to see. But they could easily just click, no, see you later. That's the thing. Well,
also, just like you said a second ago, someone shows a dead alien in their living room. Do you believe it or not? You've seen so many weird AI things. How many people actually believe it? That's the crazy
I guarantee
thing.
You that comment section would be
fake.
Wild. That is fake. Oh, cool AI video. Like, what are you talking about? There's scatter in this, and there's green blood or whatever it is all over the place.
It's pixelated.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, if this really happened, why weren't you wearing a body cam?
Yeah, that's also, they wouldn't be that advanced if one of our bullets could kill them.
That's true.
That might be incorrect though too.
And, they wouldn't be that advanced if I could actually see them in the house. You would think they'd be almost like an invisible being that was like, here I am, zoop, I'm gone, and so are you. Whoop.
Ghost aliens are so much scarier.
That is a wild concept, right?
Predator.
Yeah.
Remember OG Predator?
Mm-hmm.
Where he could...
Yeah.
I don't like that one bit. I don't like that at all.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah.
Okay, so we are the loudest people in the universe, possibly. There's a good chance.
There's a pretty good chance.
Do you know about the James Webb Telescope?
I know of it.
I'm sorry to disrupt for just a second. it just started storming like crazy here.
Boy.
And you know how bummed out that I have to go do cardio right after this, rain or shine?
That is a bummer.
Sucks, dude. Okay, so James Webb Telescope. Do you know about it?
I know of it, but I don't know a ton of details, being honest about it.
What do you think it is? Because I thought it was one thing and it is not.
What did you think?
Thought it was a place you could go and put your head on or eye on a hole and look at the stars. Or by now, probably video.
Or like one of those things at tourist cities where you pay a quarter and you get on there and you can see the city a little bit better.
No, I'm talking about like one of those big dome situations on the top of a mountain.
Oh,
Gotcha. But it's not. This is a satellite, dog. And it is 1 million miles away. It does not revolve around the Earth or the moon. It revolves around the sun. They built this special heat shield on it, and that's what it revolves around. It's 1 million miles away from us currently. That's what NASA says anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Mulder and Scully don't believe that one bit. It's
called the second Lagrange point, or L2 for all you algebra fans.
What is?
The space telescope.
Like the James Webb?
Something, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It says the Webb studies every phase and history of our universe, ranging from the first luminous glows after the Big Bang to the formation of the solar systems. Like you were saying, the Webb launched Christmas Day. A little present to all of us in 2021. Like you said, it doesn't orbit around there, the sun, but it says it orbits the sun 1.5 million kilometers or 1 million miles away from the Earth in what is called the second Lagrange point, or L2.
Never. That's another thing, dude. Why can't we just continue naming planets and solar systems based on Greek gods instead of like Scopa 27th and Larbajiba 25? Like, come on now. Come on, let's keep it with Mars and Venus and stuff like that, dude.
The images too are really cool.
They're dope
that they produce. Yeah.
Don't get sucked in, by the way.
No, I'm not. I already closed the tab.
AI CGI. And those images coming back. You've never seen a non-CGI version of Earth, by the way. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
You never have.
I never have.
But they just recently, I believe in 22, you know what? We'll let the internet sleuths figure this out because I'm going off of memory. I've barely looked at the notes today, Dave.
Figured out sleuths.
They found recently a whole another like group of stars and planets and moons and blah 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 that is way older than we thought. It kind of sets back, it kind of changes the idea of when the Big Bang actually happened.
Yeah. Like not only are they finding that, like the stars and the extra groups and stuff that are older there, they're finding stuff, it seems like almost every year, that proves that the Earth and civilization itself is older than our history books tend to believe.
Also, it looks like we might have found a couple twinsies. A couple of twin Earths. There's a couple of planets that look like Earths out there.
Isn't that crazy? There was one that was even more percentage of water, wasn't it? Like
there is a planet that's mostly salt water. Yeah. We must watch the same
90% 90% or something like that of water.
Yeah, it's crazy. Here's the deal. I don't want to go off subject here, but we've talked about this 1,000 times, but the sea is way scarier to me than space.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But
I don't know, I'm kind of scared of both, it turns out, when I think about it. I try not to.
I have a better chance of not being eaten in space.
True.
Because I watched this whole video about the Marianas Trench the other day.
But you have just as much of a chance of dying from something from the space or from the ocean. I mean, guess where you are with hurricanes and stuff. Technically, the ocean could get you, right?
Yeah, dude, it's going to swallow us one of these days. I'm just waiting for those polar ice caps to melt, dude, and goodbye, Houston.
Yeah, ocean's not going to get me unless I actively go there. And it turns out, I mean, I've done scuba diving one time in an ocean, and that was good enough for me.
Here's an example of how my algo is up. I watched a thing about the Marianas Trench just the other day, like 2 or 3 days ago tops. There's a thing called something gigantism. It only happens in the deepest part of the ocean, and they think it might be linked to the methane coming up from the volcanoes underneath the ground or underneath the water, right?
Ooh.
And everything is giant down there.
Yeah.
Like they have little, like, even the what do they whales eat? The plankton.
The plankton, yeah.
The plankton are the size of your fist, while they're microscopic at the top. What?
Yeah.
They got these worms that are like 6 feet long. It's crazy.
Squid, crab. Wow, I'm looking. That is terrifying.
Yeah, dude.
At some of these, the tendency of a deep sea creature to grow far larger than their shallow water relatives.
Nuts,
There's a
dude.
number of I'm going to jot this down in our notes too.
It's scary, dude.
Polar gigantism. Wow. Okay.
What was it called? What was the word?
Deep sea gigantism is polar gigantism, which occurs when animals that live at the poles are larger than their relatives that live near the equator.
Oh, so that makes sense. Have you seen that shark that lives up by Norway? Like they're like 600 years old and shit like that?
Yeah. It's
But, so that is basically the idea behind, like, are we alone, or are we just staying quiet, or are they already on their way to get us?
It's possible. I mean, if they were on their way to get us, they've been on their way to get us potentially for a long time. But who's to say, too, that maybe Space Force and all these other people are actively out there doing things, and maybe they've already found something closer, but it was for the better of the population or something, not to reveal it. I feel like that would have had to come out if they were like, hey, there's a potential, but maybe not. I don't know. Like, do you think that, I guess, the government and all of these programs would be like, there is 100% another place that has life that is very reachable? Do you think they would tell us? I feel like at some point we must know, right? They probably cover that up.
Why would they want to cover it up? That's the question. What's the why? And that would make you think, like, okay, man, I don't know, dude. Like,
but maybe here's the thing too. Maybe that there's life so close. We've tried exploring it. Now we are the aliens to somebody else because our spacecrafts are coming to there. We're observing them, and maybe they're mirroring what we got. Because like you kind of were hinting at either earlier before we went on a soundtrack, like, or a sidetrack, was if an alien's in your house, fight or flight. Like, what if we get to another planet and they're going to be the same way, fight or flight? Like, are we sending as the Space Force actively fighting? Are we out there trying to battle? Because if we explore on a planet, they don't know it. I mean, same thing. If stuff starts landing and things that don't look like the norm, there's going to be some action. There's going to be some. I mean, even in other places in this country. I mean, how many times have you seen a video where we go to a tribe that hasn't seen all of us, and they see a drone and they start
throwing
shooting
spears,
it down
dude.
with spears and stuff like that? Or we get down there and it's like, hey, we're welcome, and then they're a cannibal tribe that eats you. Like, it could be the same way on other planets. We could be the alien. That I've never thought that there's a possibility that we are the aliens to somebody else's. What if these Space Force people have traveled through hundreds of years to come back, and now they're all making their way back with a technology, but our civilization didn't keep up because it's a new civilization. So what we're actually seeing is an older technology that we created, but it's been so long that they've been out in space that it's coming back and it's foreign to us.
I want to float.
And the government knows.
I want to float another idea to you. Same government, same Space Force, Higgs boson, black holes traveling.
Yeah. Black holes are so intriguing in many ways, even science and not.
Yeti. No, one more thing. Okay. That's why I brought up the UN earlier. I got sidetracked. So there wasn't any sort of protocol written until like the late 80s by just some professor. So, let me see inside that mug, dude. Let me see inside. Fermented.
It's fairly clean. I rinsed it out. I rinse it out now. And for anybody who's, I mean, it's just coffee. I didn't put no creamer. There's not like bacteria. I mean, there probably is, but I'm building the
I want to do that. Was it Tim Robinson? You sure about that? You sure about that?
No, I'm not a scientist. I don't even know algebra.
So this I think it's a college professor, comes up with a rough draft of a protocol, like in case we are contacted. I guess nobody thought about like us actually getting reached back to, right? So now it is to like, we're supposed to get with the UN, right?
Could you imagine?
So,
Oh, there's an alien here and they want to talk. Come on, hold on. We got to get the UN involved. 1 second, alien.
I'll ask you. How do you get a hold of the UN?
Yeah, right.
How do you keep an alien in your living room entertained long enough for you to Google up the number for the UN, sit on hold, have them convinced that you have somebody in your house?
Could I offer you a Utica Club, sir? Could would you like some popcorn or maybe some? I just made some beef jerky. Listen, if you've already been to North Korea, they don't got hot dogs. I got all the hot dogs. You want one, alien?
Oh man,
I feel like though it's got to be somewhat easier to get a hold of the UN now because you could just start making social media posts and they will get a hold of you, right?
Siri, how do I get a hold of the UN?
Oh, you're going to have people show up to your house, bud.
You can contact the Public Inquiries team with general questions about the UN or about the website by using the form below.
Exactly. See? You can't just get a hold of the UN, dude.
No. But you get a viral video that has, like, I mean, you're just like, okay, there's an alien. Hey, look this is in my living room. This is an AI. Do something. Hold this. You know what I mean? Like, do something on the fly and just do. UN got a situation. Get a hold of me. I guarantee
I bet you they're here in minutes. Yeah,
they're there pretty quickly. And where I live and most people, I think there's military bases fairly close to a lot of people. I have to imagine, like for me, there's a major military base within an hour and a half. Somebody could get to my place pretty quick in a helicopter.
I think they'd be at your house faster than that. There's a podcast they were talking about like the U.S. presidents. I forget which one it was. Sorry, everybody. But they were talking about, I forget the president too, but his big deal was he was super pumped on like, he enjoyed being the president. He was super pumped on like, I can get anybody on the phone in 15 minutes or less. Like he was pumped about that. And he would make bets of people at parties. One of the guests at the party was like, they knew Truman Capote. You know who that is, right? They knew Truman Capote was at his, he was on vacation at his cabin out in the middle of nowhere with no contact, right? So he kept that, close to the vest and he told the president, okay, get a hold of Truman Capote. So he picks up his little red phone in his office. He goes, give me Truman Capote. He hangs up. 15 minutes later, hello, Mr. President. It's Truman Capote's on the phone. Helicopter found him, zeroed in. That's how good, even back then, the government could track you down. So something tells me they're at your house in 15 minutes or less. Dude.
Yeah.
If they truly believe, if they are really Mulder about your video, they're at your house, bro.
Yeah, and that's crazy to think about that they could and would be there that quick.
Bring it on, dude. Hey, President Joe Biden, I have an alien. Come get it, dude. It's in my pants.
I was gonna say, you ask Siri a question on your phone, you now have people, I guarantee you, looking at you when you're going for. Listen, we're gonna throw this out there. When Burley's going for his walk, looking for Goot, if he doesn't make it back, they were listening.
I was abducted by the U.S. Armed Forces, not aliens, dude.
On behalf of the UN.
I will not kill myself.
And they will be like, hey, what did you need to? You don't need a form. We're here, bud. And you'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm just out here going for a walk, man.
Burley got abducted. Hashtag. Let's go. Let's go.
We'll definitely sell some shirts on your behalf, and we'll make sure that most of the money gets to your family. Or we'll start up a scholarship.
All in all, this is a pretty freaking solid thought experiment, right? I know this wasn't a conspiracy. I mean, people are here for that. Sorry, but this is fun to think about. And
you have to imagine how many people that are listening to this now are thinking at certain scenarios or something a little bit differently, and how many times you're going to hit the Googles to not only prove us wrong, but to maybe prove to yourself that you're not as crazy. Because if we're having these thoughts, how many other people are having these same thoughts, right?
Well, I mean, dude, starting at the beginning of the show, the Drake equation, 1961, I believe.
Shout out Drake.
Yeah, shout out Drake.
Does Drake have a song about the Drake equation? I think that should be an album name.
Yeah, but Canadians don't think that well.
Fair. Go Raptors.
But yeah, dude, like, I don't know how much I believe in it, but it's fun to think about. I feel like we all kind of want to meet each other. But one more last thing. I know we're running out of time. One last thing. You mentioned that we would be the aliens going to a planet. Crazy. let's say our first person that shows up, they off them. Boom.
Mm-hmm. Done.
Kill the first U.S. to meet a Martian or U.S. citizen or Earthling. Let's say Earthling to meet a, because we don't know. It might be, an Asian fella. Gets there, gets whacked. Okay. How does Earth respond to that? Do we Hollywood movie it and mount for the Space Force to head there and get revenge? Or do we just go, huh?
You'd have to think we're smart enough. I'm saying we have to think, not saying that we are smart enough, that you're going to weigh all the options, and them killing us instantly is definitely got to be high on the option list that's going there. So I have to imagine this person is be like, listen, there's a good chance you're probably going to be like, you're going to kind of just be a number in the system. You're probably not coming back. Are you cool with that? I'll sign this form.
No, I'm right. But at the same time, they killed an Earthling, dude. And we stand together, dude. Did you remember the speech from Independence Day that Bill Paxton, not Bill Paxton, was it Bill Pullman? Either way. It's one of those bills, dude. One of the bills. Anyways, he crushed it, dude. And Earth stands together, Independence Day. It's like, yeah. So that's what I want, a rousing speech from DT. Once our first person goes down, and then
but it's like, and that's another thing because we don't know. Do we even have the ability to go full on Independence Day, traveling space to go there in full force? Like I have to imagine it's going to take quite a bit to send the 1 or 2 people that just got killed, let alone thousands. Or millions or whatever it is. In
my head, we have the upper hand because we're the advanced civilization that went there. So they have to be behind us because they're obviously not making it here.
And see, in my brain, it's thinking maybe they're the ones that are already checking out on us. Maybe they're the ones that are more advanced and they're like, we've been waiting for you to get impatient to come here.
Maybe that's what these ripples in space are.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro.
Maybe we're creating the ripples in space.
We should revisit this once a year. Just to see what new things have happened.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. This was good.
I enjoyed the shit out of that.
That's good. Yeah. And guess what? We're going to do this again next week, but not like this, but just in this episode, we came up with 3 different theories and episodes that we can easily talk about next week. And one thing that I did enjoy as well is when you made the comment, like, I'm not going to just sit here and read. I'm going to go off memory. Maybe we're going to be right. Maybe we're going to be wrong, but at least we're saying it like in our own words. Because I can't imagine that we would have fun or anybody would have fun listening to us being like, advanced civilizations might develop technologies that allow them to overcome resources. It's like there's going to be times we're going to read some shit, but on the fly, we're taking you on a journey, how our brains work and how probably your brains work, and coming up with some stuff and answering some questions. This was good. This got me thinking about some things I never knew that I had questions about. And now my Google searches and algorithms are going to be pretty interesting.
My YouTube's done. Done, son. I gotta start another one just for funny things, not stuff that makes me scared.
Yep. So now he's gonna have burleywonders@gmail.com as his other YouTube channel.
Get at me.
Get at him. But no, this was good. We'll be back next week, and hopefully we'll get hold of Goot, get him in here as well at the.
We need him back.
Got to get him back. He came back to the Body Wrong episode. Make sure you guys check that out. Check out Rage and Pillage podcast as well. I almost mended those 2 words together to be like the Rilge podcast.
The Ridge.
But make sure you check that back and check that out as well. And all the other stuff on the Beard Laws studio, if you want.
On Rumble.
On Rumble. I have put a couple of things on the Rumble. I got
an alert. There's 5 videos uploaded onto Rumble. Hey,
I've been trying to remember to do it. I thought there was a way, and if any nerds out there can tell me, there was a little option I checked that's supposed to take things, and I authorize it so when YouTube comes up, it goes over to Rumble automatically. I don't think that's happening.
It's vice versa. Rumble will, if you upload to Rumble, it'll shoot it over to YouTube. It gives you that option on there. I have not used it, but I see the option on there.
Yeah, I checked something. I thought it was one to there, but I don't know either way. But yeah, we're over there as well. We're everywhere. If you're just listening and you just enjoy our voices instead of our faces, we can't blame you at all. So, but either way, we'll be back next week. And what are we going to talk about? Any spoilers, or do you want them to be surprised?
What's our choices, dude? Let me see what we got here. We got
So a couple of the things, yeah. I mean, obviously we did the drones. We did what's beneath Mars already. We've done the dark forest theories. I mean, today we added life as a simulation, Space Force. There's something I'm kind of intrigued about that I sent to you in a video that you haven't shown there. The Mel's Hole.
Then let's do that one then.
And do Mel's Hole.
No, the one that you sent me. Is that what you sent me?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that one. Let's do that one. I'll go balls deep into that. Yeah.
All right. Ooh, he's gonna go balls deep in Mel's Hole. All right, so come back next week. We're gonna jump into Mel's Hole, which sounds dirty. It's gonna be a lot of hole puns. It'll be punny, but it'll be good. So, all right, come back next week if you want to know all about Mel's Hole, at least what we find. And yeah, that's a wrap. We'll be back next week.
Toodaloo.
Later.